very easy. That was in this Lodha. It's not in Bhaja Govindam. So was it Atma Lodha or Gita?
I think it's the last verse of Bhajagovindam, no? Don't be in a hurry.
No, I tried to check. Okay, I will check again. Okay.
Kurvavadanam Mahadavadanam. That is the one, no?
I only know the meaning. And I asked Dadaji, she also said 30th slok of
Yeah, the last that
Rasul.
one shloka, the penultimate shloka of Bhajagovindam.
Okay, thank you.
Are you all able to see the screen share?
Yes.
Okay.
I will have to leave early. I have a meeting at 7:30.
No problem.
Thank you.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev. So today's session was very insightful in that. I'm still lingering on the last three shlokas, where he talks of how the sannyasi who is Medhavi, such a beautiful thing, Medhavi Chinna Samshaya. And then, like how he Nadveshtya Kushalam Karma Kushale Nanu Shajjate Tyagi Sattva Samavishta Medhavi Chinna Samshaya. The one who is endowed with that pure discriminative knowledge and whose all his doubts are gone, he does not despise inauspicious, nor does he cling to auspicious karma. So he's almost like that water droplet on the lotus leaf. Whether he does not do, also he is not affected. I think a similar one was there, I think, in the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, where the person who is Satviki, he does not really or the jnani, he does not matter, he does not mind what kind of a guna is coming up in him. He goes beyond the three gunas. He's not attached. He does not despise himself because some tamas is coming up, neither does he despise himself because rajas is coming up or some sattva guna is coming up. He is just a mute witness to that. So this was very beautiful in that. But this is at that level. He's got a pure mind and he has discriminative knowledge. He has the knowledge of nitya and anitya. Whereas a tamasic renunciate, he will just drop all karmas, saying that is not this dropping is different from the tamasic dropping. Yeah. Before we go to the verses, anyone wants to share their takeaways?
Yeah. When we used to, before going for TTC, we had to listen to Ashtavakra Gita twice. And that time there were 33 CDs. And the 33rd CD had, okay, you don't need to do anything once you come into that kind of knowledge. And then that used to be misunderstood. So Gurudev used to say, don't play the 33rd CD at all. Like people then tend to give up doing sadhana and everything.
Right.
So, what you said about this tamasic
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just linked it with that, that there's so much of misunderstanding once you apply the knowledge wrongly, wrong
Mm,
application of knowledge.
mm. Very true. That is why he says Chinna Dvaita. What is that? Samshayaha. Once you drop all those doubts, there's so much of clarity inside. When we look at how Gurudev is, he does not need to do sadhana, he does not need to do any ritual, puja or homa, but then he still continues to do. For him, whether he does not do, does not matter. I remember when he had come to Bahrain, it was a Monday, the 3 days that he was here. And we'd actually arranged for the Rudram, and we were very passionate. We wanted him to do the Rudram in the thing here. But he was so, unattached, so to say, because his our limited small mind was only thinking, oh, Rudram Monday and all that. But he was going beyond. He had a bigger vision. He said, of course, he was thinking of the local sensitivities and all that. So he did not. He refrained from doing the Rudram. But when he's in the ashram, of course he will do. Wherever there's an opportunity, he does. So therefore, he's not so attached to um, doing that auspicious. Neither is he. I don't know about the inauspicious thing, but he is like the lotus, the water on the lotus, droplet on the lotus leaf.
Today, I was also thinking about this knowledge and comparing it with the enlightened masters. And then I realized that Bhagavad Gita has a complete knowledge for everyone, those who are enlightened and those who are beginning on the path. So I need to identify where I am,
Yeah.
and learn that bit first, and then try to move upward. So that gave me clarity, because I was also thinking, same thing what Dr. Brahmara said, no, that Gurudev is very sensitive to the people, and he does that. So even he's doing Rudram not for himself, even because he's in the ashram on Mondays, he's doing Rudram not for himself, but for the people, for us in that region. So I just, for me to identify at which stage of growth I am in, or which level I am in, maybe I'm yet to begin, identify where I am and work from there. And that gave me some sense of calmness rather than, looking at the highest and say, oh, I'm not there. It's very difficult. So I just thought I'll share.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Jai Gurudev.
Even what Dr. Brahmra just mentioned about not doing Rudra there, yesterday also we were doing something about the Rastik giving up. And there, whatever, like if you have done your Upnayan, your Trikal Sandhya and all that was coming up. I remember Bhanu Didi used to say, okay, Guru Puja you can chant every day, just orally, but on Thursdays you do it with the Samagri. And for an advanced course teacher, it's usually Thursday to Sunday is a course. So Wednesday night, full night, I'm traveling. So I had given up carrying my Samagri. So when that topic came up yesterday about the Ratsik, this thing Guna being dominant, I mean, I have never felt any remorse have not being able to do it with Samagri on a Thursday, because 6:30 the yoga session starts and we are continuing till about 9 o'clock at night. So, and every time you can't carry your Samagri with you, like you need to travel light. So I don't know. I never felt any remorse over it, but yeah, it's okay. I didn't do it on a Thursday with Samagri.
Yeah.
What is the Samagri? What is that mean?
Means you keep all the like in Rudra Puja, how you have the crystal there put and all the snake hood is there and all that, and then that is decorated after all the puja is done. Like that in Guru Puja also we have sandalwood, we have rice, we have flowers, a whole lot of things that are there, water,
Oh,
and to perform all the requirements for the puja.
okay.
And so we do that, the full thing, like the flowers and all that. So
Mm, yeah,
Guru
okay.
Paduka is there. So all that
Mm,
we do on a
mm,
Thursday. But normally when a course is from Thursday to Sunday, when at
mm,
night you are traveling, you don't carry the samagri with you. So it's okay
okay.
to just chant it. And
Yeah,
I don't know, like I never carry the samagri with me. Like it's too
yeah,
pure and holy for it to be mixed with your uh, clothes that you've worn and all that in the same suitcase. So I don't carry it.
right. Okay, got it. Thank you.
We go to verse 9 and then continue. Today, Nana covered a lot of ground. He went up to 15, I think. No, 14. He stopped at 14. कार्यमित्येव यत् कर्म नियतं क्रियतेऽर्जुन सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव सत्यागः सात्विको मतः. This we did actually yesterday. It is to be done, thinking thus, when only the enjoined karma is done, giving up attachment and result. O Arjuna, it is considered to be a sattvika renunciation. न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः. Tyagi, renunciate. Sattva samavishtaha, one who is endowed with a pure mind. Medhavi, one who has discriminative knowledge. Chinna samshayaha, one whose doubts are gone. Akushalam karma, inauspicious karma. Na dveshti, does not cling to. Kushale, with reference to auspicious karma. Na anushajjate, does not get attached. The renunciate of the results of actions, being the one who is endowed with a pure mind, then being the one who has discriminative knowledge and whose doubts are gone, does not despise inauspicious, that is kamya karma, nor does he cling to auspicious karma. It's like saying,
This one, when you say being, it's more like it's a sannyasi that who attain mokshas.
yeah, it is, Nana said, it is even, see, yesterday we learned about the three types of sannyasis, right? Vidvat
Right.
sannyasi, Vividisha sannyasi, and Apat sannyasi.
Mhm.
Here, that even that Vidvat sannyasi still has that thing that I have got the knowledge, that kind of a thing. But then here, it is a step beyond that. He has the discriminative knowledge and whose doubts are all gone. For him, it does not, even that Kartru Bhavana is also not there. And therefore, he does not despise whether it is Kamya Karma or,
The
you know,
karma,
yeah,
vicious karma, so is not
inauspicious karma.
good. So they basically, the person who, of course, the sannyasi don't have to perform any karma, that is ritual, right? And in this case, even if they perform it, I mean, they're not, when you say pure mind and discriminated knowledge, I thought they are already, like in Narni who attain moksha.
Yeah. I got my answer to one nagging question I always used to have
Mm,
is Bhagavad Gita says you must give up Kamya Karma, be Nishkamya, you must perform Nishkamya Karma. But
mm,
all the rituals and the homas that are there in the ashram and anywhere else,
mm,
especially the ashram, for me it was linked to Gurudev. So they're all with a particular sankalpa. Each one, like if you look at Navratri, Ganesha Homa is done with a particular intention to remove obstacles in your life. Rudra Homa is done for overall well-being. Similarly, Durga Homa, all that. So I was wondering, when we're talking of Nishkamya Karma, why are we doing Kamya Karma here? Isn't this done with an intention?
It
Now I
is.
get the understanding.
Yeah.
Now
Mm.
it is dawned on me that
Mm.
he's at that level. For him, it does not matter whether it's a Kamya Karma or something which is inauspicious. So he does not cling to it. He's beyond that.
Mm. Yeah, and moreover that for Atma, it's not affected. This karma that we are doing, basically it's for purifying mind, or this body. That it's more of that worldly thing, right? I mean, it's not anything to do with Atma. Atma doesn't uh, need any of these things.
Correct.
Okay.
And it
Yeah.
is like, the world is made of opposites.
Mhm.
It has good and bad, it has right and wrong, everything comes in pairs of opposites. So a person who is like this Medhavi Chinna Samshayaha is beyond the pairs of opposites. So whether it is Kamya Karma or an inauspicious karma, he does not get attached to it. He's beyond that. He's beyond the pairs of opposites.
It says does not despise inauspicious and not cling to auspicious.
Mm.
So either way, is not anything to do with these things. Like, yeah, like somebody who attained, that freedom, you're not looking, you're not going to hate or like things, you're going to be equanimous with everything. I mean, so it doesn't matter. It's like that. It's very nice, this sloka. And I also had a question, that the not question, like that the following one of the sloka, the devatas,
Yeah, the daivas, the presiding deities. Yeah, we'll come to that.
Stula Sarira.
Oh, you were there. We'll come
No,
to
no,
that.
I don't. I didn't know which sloka it is. I
It
think
was the
maybe
14th,
14. 14,
14th
yeah.
sloka. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it stick to my head because we did the last one. Okay, anyway, we'll go one by one. Thanks.
Nahi deha bhrita shakyam tyaktum karmanyasheshatah yastu karma phalatyagi satyagithyabhidhiyate. So he deha bhrita. Indeed, by the one who sustains a body, karmani, actions, asheshatah, completely, tyaktum na shakyam. It is not possible to give up. Too, but yaha karma phalatyagi, the one who is a renunciate of the results of action, saha, he, tyagi iti abhidhiyate, is called a renunciate. Indeed, actions cannot be given up completely by the one who sustains a body. But the one who is a renunciate of the results of action is called a tyagi. Because in order to sustain a body, unless you have the body consciousness, you cannot sustain it, isn't it? I'm reminded of Ramana Maharshi when,
Mm.
as a little child, he goes into the cave, I think at the age of 11 or 12, and
Mhm.
he goes into deep meditation. He actually loses body consciousness. Apparently, there are lots of insects, all those, there's no body conscious, he's not taking care of the body. So some people find him there and they bring him out over there, from there, and then um, I don't know, I'm not very clear about whether he gets the body consciousness or what happens, but then he lives the rest of his life. So only when you have that body consciousness can you actually take care of this body. And for that to happen, there is that little, that recognition that I am, how do I put it? the knowledge that you are the body, or that this body belongs to you. So those,
Can I add a little
yeah,
story
go
to
ahead.
this?
Yeah.
I listened to Tiruvasagam yesterday, and the commentator was telling the same story of Ramana Maharshi, that for almost 8 months he lost his body consciousness, and he was bitten by snakes and scorpions and all
Right.
kinds of things in the cave. And people find him, and he has no idea, and he's still in deep meditation, and they have no idea from where he has come. And since it is in the Tiruvannamalai Shiva temple cave, they start chanting in the temple, they start chanting Tiruvasagam. And in Tiruvasagam, there is a line which is his hometown. And when that line was sung, he opens his eyes and he communicates that he's from that region, from that little town. So that is how they identify from where he is, and then go and contact his family, and his mother comes, all that. And of course, he doesn't go back, but he tells his mother, whenever you want to see me, you come here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Suma. I didn't know the finer details. Thank you for filling in the gaps. So,
And one more thing, my husband just reminded me that when the people found that his body was full of all these insect bites, they applied curd rice on his body, whole body. I believe curd rice has the ability to heal the body, remove all the poison and all that. And that is how he was healed. His wounds in his body was healed with curd rice. Thank you.
the lactic acid in there.
Maybe good bacteria from the yogurt helped him. One of the things, there are people like they call Siddha. Maybe they might have used some like what do you call that, medicinal leaves or something like that.
Yes, yes. The Siddhas live in the caves in Tiruvannamalai.
They also help with those kind of natural treatment, for those kind of things. Anyway, so I'm sure, yeah, most of these people like who were meditating, they lose consciousness of their body, the whatever the I gather that maybe the prana or atma
Yeah.
goes some, yeah.
But they have that little lesha avidya, no? That is important for them to continue in the body, in the body level. Same thing, I think, even with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. That lesha avidya is what makes them continue there, and it's also, I think, intrinsically linked with their prarabdha, and therefore they go through that the body goes through prarabdha because they are not affected at the deeper level. They do not connect with that, but the body has to go through that prarabdha.
Right.
So indeed, actions cannot be given up completely by the one who sustains a body, but the one who is a renunciate of the results of action is called a tyagi. Bhagwan has this knack of giving these contradictory statements.
Yeah, you
Further
take it.
confuse Arjuna, no, and all of us.
Yeah, like he says you take care of it, but then you leave the results to me, like of the action. Basically, again, this is a karma yoga anushtana, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this karma is more like a action, but that the other karma is more of a ritual. Maybe it's a ritual.
Correct. He's talking of actions. Actions cannot be, see, of course, I think Ramana Maharshi used to eat, sleep, and, go through all the normal karmas that everybody does, actions. Therefore, those cannot be given up. But The one who's a renunciate is one who gives up the results of action. That is called a tyagi. Now it makes sense. Anishtamishtam mishrancha trividham karmanah phalam bhavatyatyaaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kvachit. Atyaginam, for the non-renunciates, pretya, after death, anishtam, undesirable, ishtam, desirable, mishram cha, and a mixture, karmanaha phalam, the result of action, trividham bhavati, exists as threefold, natu kvachit, but never, sannyasinam, for the renunciates. This only means that for sannyasinam, there is no samsara. They will not come back into the world. Whereas all the others who are atyaginam, all those who are non-renunciates, they have to go through the cycle of samsara again. And that they have a mixture of three. There are threefold results. One is undesirable, desirable, and a mixture. I didn't quite understand this mixture though. I think when we read Swamiji's PDF, we will understand. So undesirable, we know, is the sinful, the sins that we accrue. Desirable is all the punyas that we accrue. And
this
then
is what I remember.
Yes, Suma.
About the mixture, no? Gurudev says, no, there are some karmas which neither bring you good or bad. Like brushing your teeth is not going to bring you any karma. It is still an action, but it is not going to bring you any good result or bad result. Of course, good result is you'll probably keep the teeth you want to keep, he said. I don't know if you remember.
Correct. But here
If any of you
specifically
heard that, watch
three
that
kinds,
video.
three types of results of action. So it is not like it is without result. There is a result here, but it is a mixture. Correct. What you said is right. Where you brushing teeth, cleaning the house, vacuuming the house, it does not give you either good or bad. But here, karmana phalam, there are three types of results of action. So what Nana had mentioned was when you have undesirable, the measure of undesirable is more like you're doing only undesirable things. The results are undesirable. You're born in a lower category, like either an insect or a worm or something like that. But when you have a lot of desirable acts that you do, and you accrue only punya, then you're born in the higher realms, like either a Gandharva or a Yaksha or Kinnara or something like that. And when there is a mixture, you are born as a human being. When you have a mixture of papa punyas, then you take a human birth. That is what Nana had mentioned. So it will be interesting to read Swamiji's PDF on this. The threefold result of action exists after death for the non-renunciates, but never for the renunciates. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodha me sankhye kritante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam. Mahabaho, O mighty armed Arjuna, sarva karmanam siddhaye, for the accomplishment of all karmas, sankhye kritante, in the Shastra at the end of the Vedas, Vedanta, proktani are told, etani, these, pancha, five, karanani, causes, me nibodha, understand from me. Understand from me, Arjuna, these five causes for the accomplishment of all karmas, told in the Shastra at the end of the Vedas, that is Vedanta, which is the point of culmination of all karma. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithak vidham vividhascha prithak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Adhishtanam, the physical body, tatha, so too, karta, the agent, karanam cha prithak vidham, and the separate manifold means, vividhaha cha prithak, the distinct and diverse, cheshtaha, activities of the pranas, atra, here, daivam cha eva, and daiva, the presiding deities is indeed panchamam, the fifth. You know, when we were discussing this, the one thought that kept coming to me was Bhagwan is talking about the Stula and Sukshma Shariras. And the presiding deities. So everything now the shloka and tattva bodh where everything has a presiding deity. That makes so much sense here, no?
Yeah.
I think Vishnu is for the eyes, or Vishnu
Yeah.
is for the feet or hands.
Feet. Yeah,
Feet.
no. Vishnu is feet, hand, body, okay, tongue. Tongue is what? The
just
water
get
is.
my tattva bodh 1 minute. Huh? You continue. I'll just get my tattva bodh book.
Yeah, tongue is the water because of the taste, right? What is the water is in? I forgot. Upper.
Varuna.
No, Varuna, right? Varuna.
Yeah, water is Varuna.
And the hand
And
is.
I think Ashwini Kumari is for the nose, no?
Smell. Yeah, Ashwini Kumar is smell.
Smell. Yeah.
Stotra is Agasha is
Hearing. Yes.
hearing. Yeah, but the deity is Dig Devadas. For the hearing, Dig Devadas. Eyes is Agni, and then the tongue is the taste is Varuna.
Varuna.
And walk is who is the walk? Saraswati? No, Saraswati?
No,
Yes.
we don't have
Vasdevi. Yes.
Walk is something. And then Prajapati is the for the procreation, and the Yama is the annual thing, and then the hand is Indra.
Who's Indra? Mine.
And
hands.
yeah, for the hand.
Hands are Indra. Okay.
I think so. I had to wait.
I will talk. Let me read this one.
Okay.
Presiding deity, name of the organ, capacity to speak located in the tongue, ability to grasp in the hands. Okay. Presiding deity for capacity to speak, that is located in the tongue, is Agni. Not
Agni?
Saraswati. Not Saraswati, Agni.
I know. I know I made a mistake, but then
Saraswati was not there. I remember Saraswati was not there. And then ability to grasp in hands, that is the hands. Pani is Indra. Padav is Vishnu.
Right.
And ability to excrete in the anus is Mrityu.
Yama. Yeah. Yama.
Okay? And capacity to procreate in the genitals is Prajapati.
Prajapati, yeah.
So these are the organs of action, which are the karmendriyas. So Vak is Agni. Pani is Indra. Padav is Vishnu. And Upastha.
Upastha, yeah. That's a Prajapati.
Prajapati. Upastha is actually the genitals. And the anus, ability to excrete, is this.
Yeah.
Is the
Mrityu or Yama.
We'll read, we read the Sanskrit words, is easier to understand.
Yeah, Mrityu.
Agni pada payu upasthaniti pancha karmendriyani vacho devata vannihi, that is Agni, hastayor indraha, padayor vishnuhu, payor mrityuhu, paya is the excretory organs, payor mrityuhu, Upastasya Prajapatihi iti Karmendriya Devataha. Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam. Panyor Vishayaha Vastugrahanam. Padayor Vishayaha Gamanam. Payor Vishayaha Malatyagaha. Upastasya Vishayaha Ananda iti. So this is the organs of action, organs of perception. I'll read the Sanskrit verse and then
Yeah, that's
Shrotram Chakshuhu Rasana Ghranam iti Pancha Jnanendriyani. Shrotrasya Dig Devata. Tvacho Vayuhu. Chakshushaha Suryaha. Rasanaya Varunaha. Ghranasya Ashvinam. Iti Jnanendriya Devata.
so for the Sakshuhu is Vayu, you said?
Tvacho is Vayu. The skin is Vayu.
Yeah.
Shuhu is Suryaha.
Surya, yeah. Okay, that's why I mixed up the Agni for the taste.
Yeah.
No, Agni for the walk and the Surya's for the eyes.
So, presiding deity, so ability to hear in the ears is the Dig Devata.
Yeah, this is how I remember, like Agni, I mean, Sostra is like you are hearing from the direction, space, right? So Dig Devata. And then for the eyes, light, right? So you can remember the sun like that. I cannot keep that.
And Ashwini Kumaras also, they are twins, no?
Like
so we have two nostrils, so we can remember that way. So the
right.
Ashwini Kumara.
Kumaras. And then the taste is the
Taste is Varuna.
Varuna. Because the water, that
you require for taste.
Appears for the taste. So then the sparsa is the Vayu. Like, when wind touches your skin, you feel it. That's how, yeah.
Correct. So, ability to hear in the ears is Dig Devata. To feel Tvacho is Vayu. Chakshushaha Suryaha. Rasanaya Varunaha. And Dhranasya Ashvinau. We'll do one revision and then go forward. Organs of action and organs of perception, the presiding deities. I'm so awed at all of this. Really awed.
Well, you remember the other, I forgot his name, Ravi or somebody. He kind of gave some connection like that. I tried to remember it, so it's a little bit odd to remember Indra and Vishnu. We always look at the feet when you worship Vishnu. So I remember it like that. Vishnu is the feet, and the hand is Indra. I don't know what reason I put that one for Indra. Prajapati is like a Brahma.
Creation.
Procreation.
So that is understood.
Creation, and then Yama is the I mean, I don't remember exactly why we put Yama Mrityu there, and anyway, that's how I remember at the end. Yeah, I mean, he takes the prana, right? So you have to take it like
usually for most people, the prana leaves through that. But as you ascend up in your sadhana and all that, for very evolved people, the prana leaves through the Brahmarandra from the Sahasrara.
Dasras, yeah.
It leaves through what 5, 6, I think 4, 5 portals, no? Either through the eyes, through the
mouth, or I don't know.
The anus, or through the.
They have 9 orifices, right? Including both eyes and nostrils, ears and mouth, and then anal and
Navadvare Pure Dehi. So even from any of these exits, there are entry points as well as exit points. So the prana can leave through any of them.
That's true.
Yeah. So a quick recap again, so we kind of remember it.
Sure. Go ahead.
So we'll do organs of perception first and then organs of action.
Yeah.
I'll redo the Sanskrit and then the English. Vacho Devata Vannihi. No, sorry. Before that is No.
You are doing organs of perception.
Shrotrasya Digdevata. Yeah, Shrotrasya Digdevata.
Mhm.
Pacho Vayuhu. Chakshushaha Suryaha. Rasanaya Varunaha. Granasya Ashvina. So for the hear, ability to hear is Digdevata. Ability to see is to touch space, air, then fire. So
Right.
ability to touch is Vayu. Ability to see is Suryaha. And ability to taste is Varuna. And the ability to smell is Ashvina.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, if
Vach,
you go in that order also, it's good. Like you do the space, Agasha, and
correct.
the Vayu, and then the Agni,
Agni,
and Varuna. Sorry, what is it?
Apaha,
Apaha, and
and
then
Prithvi.
Prithvi. Yeah.
Prithvi,
Mhm. So we can go in that order, plus the
correct.
devas, and then the organs of perception that
Right.
comes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then the organs of action, Karmendriyani, is Vacho Devata Vannihi.
Mhm.
Starts with speech. And then
Yeah, walk is.
Hasta, yeah, Vak first is Vanni. Hastayor Indraha, Padayor Vishnuhu, Payor Mrityuhu, Upastasya Prajapati. Iti Karmendriya Devata.
Mhm. Right.
So, Vacho Vannihi, Payor Indraha, sorry, Hastayor Indraha, Padayor Vishnuhu, Payor Mrityuhu, Upastasya Prajapati. Okay.
Somewhere we read this words came like that order, right? Walk, Pani, Pada.
Yeah, that is the first one, no? That is the
First,
beginning of the shloka is Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upasthani, iti Pancha Karmendriyani.
done. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where I mean, we read it in Tattvabodh, but then somewhere else this order came. I'm not sure where I read it. Maybe here in Tattvabodh.
So these, so when we were talking of these five, what are these five? Adhishtanam is the physical body,
Right.
because without the physical body, there is no karma. No?
Mm-hmm.
You need the Stula Shariram is what? Is the
Stula Tariram is
Stula Shariram
basically gross body, right?
It is
Gross body.
Panchikrita, this is
That the tamasic after Panchikaranam, tamasic
yeah. Sukha Dukkadi Bhogayatanam Shariram. It is the Sharira where it is the counter for the experience of joy, sorrow, etc. So this is Bhogayatanam Shariram is Stula Shariram. Therefore, the physical body is important. Tatha, so to Karta, the agent, that is the Ahankara. Then Karanam cha Prithak Vidham. And the separate manifold means here includes all the Pancha Jnanendriyas and the Pancha Karmendriyas. Vividaha cha Prithak, the distinct and diverse Cheshtaha, activities of the pranas. So here it is a combination, it is like a remove, I mean, except the ahankara, the rest of the stula sharira, sukshma sharira is included here. And then Daivam cha eva and Daiva, the presiding deities indeed, are the fifth. I was, my mind was going to a person who's comatose. He has a physical body, but
right.
his the Daivam is not working through. He doesn't have those, the tanmatras are not there. The ability to see, hear, and touch is not there, isn't it? So all these are required. All these five are required for some karma to happen.
Yeah.
And Nana very beautifully said, Atma is not included here. The reason is we have to use this as a contemplative tool, because Atma is beyond karma. There's no karma that Atma does. He's all pervading. What karma will he do? So all this that is happening is in the Mithya Loka, in the it is an
Panchamam.
apparent illusion. It's an illusion. Only in the Maya all this is happening. And we are getting caught up in this time and again, time and again.
Can we read the Tatparyam
I
also?
will read the Tatparya. 1 second.
Mm.
The physical body, so too the agent, the distinct and diverse activities of the pranas, and indeed Daiva, the presiding deities, is the fifth year.
Physical body, the agent. Which agent?
Agent is the Ahankara, the
Oh,
Karta and the Bhokta. These both. So that is the agent.
Karta and Bhokta. Okay, got it. The physical body, the agent, Karta, and the distinct diverse activities of pranas. There is one is missing is this.
The Karanam, the separate manifold means is missing here.
Yeah, Karanam Chap. That's the one you said. The Karmendriyas? No.
Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas, yes.
Jnanendriyas in this one. Karanam sa Pratak Vitam. Pratak Vitam. Pratak Vitam. Okay. And then the pranas and the daivas. Okay. Or is the fifth here. So the diet is also included in this five causes.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is why you remember in one of the shlokas, Bhagavan says, whomever you propitiate, those results I will give you. But if you pray to me, you will reach me alone. So if we pray to all the so-called sub-deities, you get whatever. But if you pray to me, you will reach me alone. So he is above all of them.
Right.
The principle.
But then they put Vishnu on the feet, right? I mean, the Vishnu is kind of name for everything. Mm.
Yeah, see, I think that I'm not sure whether that understanding this Vishnu is I think the Trinity Vishnu.
Mm.
Trinity Vishnu is also
The part
subordinate to the Brahma. Brahma is above everyone. These are all the manifest, and all those that are manifest are in the Maya only. But when you're talking of the unmanifest, all pervading unmanifest, that is only one Atma. That is only the Parabrahma. That is it.
Brahma.
Where there are no distinctions, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, all those are not there.
Right. It's all
Isn't it?
Brahman. But then when you're reading, yeah, I don't remember where I read in the Bhagavatam or in here or Mahabharatam. I don't know where it is. They come from the storyline, like anyway. So we have to, for this purpose, we keep it as one Parabrahman, that's it.
Yes.
And then all the others are subordinates.
I think when you just mentioned about Maya just now, that time it came to me when we were doing Bhajo Govindam. I think there was a verse on pranayam, pratyahar, and all that. And in that verse, Nanaji said, if one of your limbs is not working, Maya is on casual leave that day. He just mentioned it in passing and he left it at that. It had a profound effect on me at that time. And then somebody caught on to it also, just like I caught on to it. And they asked you to expound on it. And Dr. Brahmra and I think Vijayji expounded on that at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I felt that something that Nana was hinting at, but he just mentioned it in passing and left it at that. He didn't. Probably tomorrow we can keep it as a question.
Why not?
What he meant by that.
Persiji, can you please write it down? Because unless we put it down, you can maybe send it across as a question.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll certainly ask. Yeah. So
I don't remember the number of the verse and all that. I just mentioned that
pranayam,
it was something to
pratyahara,
pranayam, pratyahar, like that the wordings were going. And then at the
pranayam.
end of it, he explained that time he mentioned this. As if Maya is on casual leave. And it was a hard hitting statement. He mentioned it very lightly and he just left it at that. But it had an impact. Like, what did he mean by that? Like, then I went back to my notes on pranas and all that, how the functions are there, what controls what, and all that.
Maya on casual leave.
Yeah, that sounded very, very.
For us to understand, no? See, we only understand what we know. So casual leave, sick leave, annual leave, this is what we know. So it was nice. Right. I think I missed that part. So what
No,
here
you
again?
expounded on it later. Somebody wanted you to explain it, and somebody caught on to it, and then they asked you to expand on it, and then you and Vijayji expounded on it. Like,
Oh. Even here, the distinct pranas, that clarity is coming a little bit. I wouldn't say a lot of clarity, but at least how pranas are so important. All the pancha pranas are important. That fine distinction between the
Prana,
the
apana.
organs of action, organs of perception, and the pancha pranas. He quoted again the Chandogya Upanishad where they have a competition. Intellect says, I'm superior. Without me, the mind doesn't work. Mind also says the same thing. Without me, where is your thought? And then the pranas say, okay, fine, we're going to pack our bags and leave. And then they realize that without the prana, they have no capacity at all. Their power to function comes because of the pranas. So that way, the pranas are without prana, without the pancha prana. That is why it's called the subtle life force.
Right.
Without that, there is no life at all. No, it is as good as a bag that is deflated. He also quoted the deflated football bladder. Only when the prana is there, when you're pumped it with prana, that the football rises and it's functional. And plus the fifth element, the daivam, deciding deities. Yeah, nice. Anyone wants to add anything else here?
He did the 15 also, or we just did the
No, tomorrow. He'll start with the 15th, he said tomorrow.
15?
Yeah. So no wonder all these Prakarana Grandhas are so important for us to understand Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? So much of Tattva Bodh is there. So much of if you didn't understand what Sthula Sukshma Shariras is, what Ahankara is, what Antakarana is, there's no point in reading it. It's just an intellectual journey, I think. No? It's very good that we've done all those texts before.
I think it is also going to be very helpful in terms of Atma Bodh too, like for us to really contemplate, when you say you're not the body, you're not the mind, without understanding what we're saying, so now you have better idea. It's not you really, so that kind of
Right. So we'll go to our chapter 3. I'll read the last paragraph before we go to the 4th shloka. Arjuna thought that giving up everything would not present any great problem, especially since he had lived in the forest for 12 years. But during those 12 years, he had been thinking about Duryodhana and the kingdom and the injustice of it all. 12 years of meditation upon Duryodhana did not make Arjuna a sannyasi. Arjuna
One
had been nursing. Huh?
screen. Can you please share the screen for us?
Oh, sorry,
I-
did I not? Oh, sorry.
no, no, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's you
I
have it.
just opened and I forgot about the screen share. Thank
No,
you.
no.
So the last para, Arjuna thought that giving up everything would not present any great problem, especially since he had lived in the forest for 12 years. But during those 12 years, he had been thinking about Duryodhana and the kingdom and the injustice of it all. 12 years of meditation upon Duryodhana did not make Arjuna a sannyasi. Arjuna had been nursing a big hurt for a long time. Therefore, sannyasa was not going to come so easily to him. One does not become a sannyasi by decision alone, all of which Krishna would tell him later in the Gita. So it is not decision alone, he should be eligible. That eligibility should be there to become a sannyasi, to take to sannyasa. In the next verse, Krishna began teaching Arjuna the real meaning of actionlessness with reference to gaining
ते
moksha.
पण द्यायचंच आहे तिच्या बॅग तिथं मग गाडीतच ठेवायचं होतं. गेला घेऊन तो डबा घेऊन गेला. पण तो पण मी तिला सांगितलं होतं तुझ्यासाठी.
न कर्मणामनारंभा नैष्कर्म्य पुरुषोष्णुते न च संन्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति. Purushaha, a person, karmanam, of activities, anarambhat, by non-performance, naishkarmyam, the state of actionlessness, na ashnute, does not gain, cha, and sannyasat, sannyasanat eva, merely by renunciation. Siddhim, success, na samadhi gacchati, does not attain. A person does not gain the state of actionlessness by the non-performance of activities, nor does a person attain success or liberation out of mere renunciation, sannyasa. So the earlier paragraphs, Swamiji told us that there are two nishtas. One is sannyasa and the other is karma yoga. But both have a common last step, which is knowledge. We have seen that there are two lifestyles, nishtas, jnana yoga nishta and karma yoga nishta. These two nishtas are for two types of people, the sannyasis and the karma yogis respectively. All those seeking liberation who are other than sannyasis are karma yogis. Here Krishna explains why this is so. There is a connection between karma yoga and sannyasa, jnana yoga. For a jnana yogi, the pursuit of knowledge alone is yoga, for which he or she must have freedom from the hold of raga dveshas. Raga dveshas have been described by the Gita itself as the source of all our problems. Therefore, raga dveshas must be taken care of before one becomes a sannyasi. If you become a sannyasi without karma yoga, how are you going to neutralize your raga dveshas? There are ragas, desires for certain things, and for a sannyasi, it is impossible to fulfill them. Dveshas, those situations that one wants to avoid, will also be there with no possibility of being neutralized. As a karma yogi, however, you have a field in which your raga dveshas can be neutralized. Thus, Karma yoga becomes the means for Jnana yoga, and Jnana yoga becomes the means for moksha. We have seen how the word sannyasa can have two meanings. One being a lifestyle, implying the renunciation of all relationships and activities in order to pursue knowledge alone. The other meaning is that by knowledge, one gives up all action. Jnanena karma sannyasa. Shankara often took it this way. Sannyasa as an end in itself, knowledge being sannyasa. This is because sarva karma sannyasa, the giving up of all action, takes place in knowledge. Through knowledge, the doership of the Atma is nullified. Because there is no doership in the Atma, even as one performs action, it is not really being done by the Atma. Only when this is clearly understood is there the giving up of all activity through knowledge. Jnanena karma sannyasa. This is what is meant by the word sarva karma sannyasa, which is equivalent to moksha.
Can you summarize? I kind of stepped out a little bit, and then the previous two paragraphs. I know you.
One thing is you can't become a sannyasi without going through karma yoga, because you have to neutralize your raga dveshas.
Okay.
Raga dveshas you take to sannyasa because you just decided to become a sannyasi. You're going to sit there and you'll be tormented by your raga dvesha. Raga, the desire to gain something, you can't really accomplish because you have nothing, no possessions. Similarly, dvesha is you want to avoid certain situations. You can't, because that is how there is every possibility you will encounter such adverse situation, right? So unless you go through karma yoga, you cannot become a sannyasi. That is one. Karma yoga, however, we have the whole samsara is a field for us. There our raga dveshas can be neutralized. So on this path, while we are on this path as mumukshus, being karma yogis, our one important thing to remember is to neutralize our raga dveshas. Because only when you neutralize this.
Dveshas, is this more like a angry and touch? Not
Angry, there's a negative emotion, yes, but that arises because you want to avoid certain, you want to avoid something. See, there are only two things. No, you either want something that you desire, or you you avoid something that gives you displeasure. That is the aversion. Aversion comes because of that wanting to avoid, because ultimately what is it? You want to be happy. In order to be happy, man, unfortunately, the ajnani
everything
looks to the outside. Yeah.
Pain and bad things and failure in your life or something like that. So all the negative things you don't want.
You don't want.
Right.
See, the world is full of opposites, good and bad.
Right.
Raga is clinging on to the good. Dvesha is wanting to avoid the bad.
Bad. Yeah, okay.
So this is what you have to neutralize when you out there. For a karma yogi, the whole world is a field of activity. It is like a practical lab. It's like your chemistry lab or physics lab where you can experiment. You sit out and you see, oh, am I being taken over by my raga? So be aware of it and then it will dissolve. Same thing with dvesha.
Right.
So that therefore, once your raga dveshas are neutralized, then karma yoga becomes a means for jnana yoga. Because ultimately, moksha. So unless you do karma yoga, you will not get to the jnana yoga. And then in the next para, it's a little more deep. I don't think I've understood it fully. Shankara gives his own his interpretation. So there are two meanings to the word sannyasa. One is it's a lifestyle implying the renunciation of all relationships and activities in order to pursue knowledge alone. The other meaning is that by knowledge, one gives up all action. Shankara holds on to this second definition, that is jnanena karma sannyasa. Shankara often took it this way, sannyasa as an end in itself, knowledge being sannyasa. This is because sarva karma sannyasa, the giving up of all action, takes place in knowledge, isn't it? So once you gain that knowledge, that kartritva bhavana is not there. So you're not the doer, and therefore you drop all actions. This takes place in knowledge. Through knowledge, the doership of the Atma is nullified. Because there is no doership in the Atma, even as one performs action, it is not really being done by the Atma. If you remember that shloka in, I think, chapter 7, I think, Ashnan, Swashan, Swapan, Pralapan, Visrajan, Brindan, all that, even batting of the eyelids, opening the eyelids, closing the eyelids, all that is it's just happening. You're just a witness to all that as a non-doer. That is jnanena karma sannyasa. Only when this is clearly understood is there the giving up of all activity through knowledge. Jnanena karma sannyasa. This is what is meant by the word sarva karma sannyasa, which is equivalent to moksha. Nyasa means you got it. I mean,
yeah. Basically, he gives up all the activity through knowledge. That's jnanena karma sannyasa.
Correct.
And the word meant by, I mean, the sarva karma sannyasa is basically you give up all the karmas that is equivalent to moksha, because you acquired your knowledge.
Even that giving all karma is with jnana.
Yeah, with jnana.
Karma sannyasa. Yeah. It is
Through
not
knowledge.
just giving up action, and this person has not really realized, he's not got the knowledge. He's just given up actions and sitting in a cave. That is not karma sannyasa. It's not sarva karma sannyasa.
Yeah, the way I think they're talking about this is like when you come to that, you realize Atma, like then Atma is just the witness, or that light in you. So it's not a doer, it's not any of action. So when you are the Atma, when you realize that nothing else, nothing else can need to be done.
There is nothing else, no, apart from the Atma. Once you're
Right.
rediscovered,
Nothing to be done.
So there's no other. What action is there? There's absolutely no action. I mean,
yeah, I remember somewhere we read some story. I think Swamiji's note somewhere that there is one sannyasi, there, and somebody brings lot of food, and then he eats all of it, and then says he didn't eat anything. And even though he performed the action, he didn't. I mean, he doesn't say that. We see it as he performing the action, but he doesn't. That action is not performed by him. That because he renounced all this. You're not the body, or you're not the mind, and all that. So that is, it's only your Atma, then you're not going to admit to all these other things, right? I mean, I know I'm saying it in the right way, but
Yeah, yeah.
When you
Then there is,
realizing you're the Atma and there is nothing else, so no doership, even one perform action, it's not really being done by the Atma. That's how they
yeah.
present it. Mhm.
That is why, see, when there is no kartritva bhavana, there is also no bhoktritva bhavana. There is
Yeah.
no enjoyership also. Enjoyer means also includes suffering. If
Mm-hmm.
we take our thing back to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he
Yeah.
apparently had a very painful, laryngeal cancer or something towards the end.
Yeah.
That was
Throat cat.
really painful, but he did not go through any of the pain because he was beyond the body conscious. He was beyond that kartritva bhavana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
It will
I
be
want.
nice to have this. No, I wish if I get migraine attacks on and off. So
Mm,
I'm just thinking how we can apply this where when you're going through pain, how can
mm,
you use this knowledge to rise above the pain? If you're going through some difficult, I know Percy ji had shared once very beautifully when he had a lot of pain, he was just sitting there and the pain just disappeared in Gurudev's presence.
right. The way they do it is, I think the physical, the psych, the pain is actually, um, it's a sensation, right? I mean, if you, there is this other Swamiji is talking about this Atma Bodh, right? He's talking about every illness or this thing, starts in your mind. So if you treat your mind, like if you say that when you're kind of saying, when you look closely to yourself, like when you say you are free from all this suffering, you know what I'm saying? Like you look closely in yourself, knowing yourself, then that part of this, you're not this, the body is, yourself, that meaning like realizing your Atma. That's the only thing. It's everything else is transient, right? The body, mind, all these things are not not, I wouldn't say related, but it's not you. So when that thought comes, I think that pain is kind of lesson, or you're not remembering, like the other, endurance, the other thing is the endurance and patience. Those things also helps people. Like in this country, of course, we have a little headache, yeah, you immediately take Tylenol or something. But somebody in village in India, they're not, uh, they have a headache, but but they're not bothered by it. Or if it really bad or it persisting, they try other things like drinking water or do some kind of a herbal tea or whatever. If they're not helping, and somebody will come and give one tablet, that local doctor, then they get better. But normally, they endure. So we kind of endure the pain, not jumping into it. When you closely looking at it, that dissipates. That's how they say. But you talk about cancer pain or some other severe pain, that is different. That need to be treated. I mean, medically speaking, right? Or acute pain due to some illness, like appendicitis or something. That I would say, yeah, it need to be treated. I don't know. That would be, you cannot call that endurance in that
Yeah,
particular part.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, when as long as you're awake and
Mm-hmm.
your mind is functioning, you feel the pain, or whatever
Right.
the physical sensations. But in
Mm-hmm.
your sleep, when the mind goes down, the mind settles down, you do not feel any pain, isn't it?
It's true, but some of the problems, even in sleep, that means that alerts you that something wrong. You're right. The sleep state or even in wakeful state, if you are diverting your attention to
Correct.
something, you're busy doing something else, you're going to completely forget about this pain. It only comes when you're resting, or that you didn't have, your mind is not elsewhere, and then the focus is on that spot.
I'm reminded of my childhood when
Uh-huh.
I would come home and then complain to my mother, I have this ache and that ache. She would say, when you go out and you're with your friends, you don't have any of these aches and pains. Only when you come home and see my face, you have all these aches and pains. So it is like that.
Yeah.
As rightly said, when you divert your mind, when your mind is occupied elsewhere,
Right.
it tends not to be, you don't get affected by,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't happen.
Right.
So there should be a way to have a say on the pains that we have. So it's a
Yeah.
matter of,
What was your question? I'm sorry, I kind of
my
interrupted.
question was, how do we
Uh,
use this knowledge of non-doership? Because if there's non-doership, there is also non-enjoyership or non-sufferership. So how do we use
Okay.
knowledge to take care of our aches and pains that we get in our daily life?
Mm,
So
yeah.
that is the thing.
Basically, there are several things, right? Uh, I think if we take care of ourselves on a regular basis, which I am not doing it, I'm not the perfect person. I kind of procrastinate sometimes, most of the time, maybe. I always think about it. In the morning when you wake up, you do the yoga, like stretching exercises. Because as we age, we are not having the same body as when we are young. I mean, I don't remember one day I was sick when I was at a young age, like until school, college, maybe. Um, now only you feel like, oh my God, knee hurts, back hurts, and it's like that. But I think it's most of it is as our body changes, there's things wearing off and muscles tend to tighten up. Unless we do proper exercise and improve the circulation to all parts of our body, it is not going to work as it was before. So for that reason, we have to do some regular exercise like some yoga.
Mara, there is a lot of disturbance from your side. I think maybe you're logged in with your earphones. I think
No,
so.
no, I don't have earphones. Sorry, maybe I was kind of sliding off.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah. Now it's clear.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, basically doing that kind of an exercise, and then pranayama, and for mind disturbance, this other Swamiji was saying that you sit still, upright. When you sit upright, you are alert, and you sit quietly, still for whatever time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your mind calms down, um, so when you have worry, tension, or stress, all these things cause also our physical illness, like achiness and tightness and muscles, all that. So that kind of calms down the mind, in that sense, it helps. So those are the things. And then eating balanced meal and drinking adequate water and things like that would help, hopefully, keeping ourselves functioning, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because
that is where the self care itself takes like at least 2-3 hours. If we have to be able to spend that much time in a given day, that would be really nice.
what you're talking of is preventing physical ailments, disease prevention.
Right.
That is
That,
what yoga is all
yeah,
about. It is, mm,
yeah, that thereby, we reduce all this, um, I mean, at least will be functioning better. That's my main thing, and preventing chronic illnesses too, you know. So
The actually definition of yoga, one of the definitions of yoga Patanjali Maharshi gives is Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. So yoga is that which prevents a disease or misery from actually happening. So all this that you've talked about, self-care, yoga, and all the sadhana, eating proper food, all that is part of preventing a disease, preventing it from happening.
right.
But then when when it actually happens, in spite of you doing all that, you might still end up with some.
It will, yeah, it can happen. It's not.
Then I think with the attitude of karma yoga, because see what you're getting is a result of action, right? Well, the pain you're going through. If that we can take as prasada buddhi, as prasada from the Lord, then probably the effect will not be as much. And that's what I think. I'll just read this next para before we close.
Sure. Yeah.
Nyasa means renunciation and sannyasa means perfect or complete renunciation. Thus, sarva karma sannyasa means perfect renunciation of all action. The renunciation being in the form of knowledge itself. This knowledge is not possible without a certain mind. Such a mind is accomplished by karma yoga, performing action with the proper attitude, as we saw in the previous chapter. And we will see again in this chapter, karma yoga enables you to give up all karmas in the sense that it becomes a means for sarva karma sannyasa. So this step we have to take. We are all, although sannyasa seems very inviting, we have to go through the stage of karma yoga.
We are like Arjuna, you know, like.
Yeah. I do all this. I can just close and I just read Bhagavad Gita. I will get moksha, because moksha is the ultimate gain, ultimate, so to say, goal. But why do I have to do all my daily chores, daily this, go to work? I will just sit and read Bhagavad Gita. But no.
Yeah, there you put already, you know, you have to neutralize your raga dveshas and then do the karma yoga and whatnot, and then get there. So we can't even say apat sannyasi or whatever until you take care of this problem.
So we'll do this tomorrow. We'll stop here.
Yeah, sure. So one quick question about, I know today even I practiced like the 7th chapter but I still have that low voice, you know, so it's really not able to get the tune. And so I don't know how much we can, as Vijay Ji was saying, can we practice, or at least maybe we could meet a little bit earlier than what our usual time, and practice with any one of you that who can correct or whatever.
Yeah. I know we thought we'll do it today, but it completely missed my attention.
Yeah.
That maybe what we can do is like tomorrow we're going to chant 11th chapter.
Okay.
Maybe a few verses of the 11th we can, the next chapter that we're going to chant, we can practice a few of those verses maybe.
So today you are supposed to do 11th chapter or no?
No, tomorrow you'll do. We finished 10 today. We are doing 11 tomorrow.
10. 10 today. I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
In any case, what you do, Dr. Mara, I think chant chapter 12, there is no one who's there. So, yeah,
no,
but
12,
Vijay
somebody
said he will
signed
be there.
it,
So,
right?
so you and Vijayji can probably take half, 10 shlokas. So you practice the first 10.
For the 12? For
yeah,
12? Okay.
Chapter 12.
All right. That's
If you
fine. First,
wish,
then I will.
you can send me a voice note after you chant, and then we can fine tune it if required.
Okay. I'll try tomorrow, hopefully.
Same goes with Simi, Loveleen, Saralaji, Lakshmi. You have to come. We get given a proper ground over here. Nana's full
I
opportunity.
know.
And
I
all
feel
not
so
to
bad,
be
like because I
judgmental.
was. You won't believe I went to India. I had to come right back with